Now, there's just something about talking about food that just puts a smile on your face. And to commemorate World Food Day, that's going to be happening on October 16th, we decided to invite someone special. Now, we have a food safety expert and founder of Cooper House Hospitality, Dr. Omokweju Afanu. Now, she is here to discuss the 5 food safety pillars. And I have a feeling you've probably heard about this maybe when you were in secondary school, or maybe some time ago, but you never really took them seriously. So you need to stay tuned for this one. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so World Food Day, you need to talk to us about the theme for this year.
Okay, so basically we are trying to do our own theme for this year, which is around food safety, because we train on food safety.
Okay.
So we're basically focusing on food safety, and like you said, the 5 pillars of food safety.
All right, so Cooper House Hospitality is taking this on this year. Have you done this in the past?
Yes, so like we did something for the World Food Safety Day. So because we are focused on safety in terms of food handling and all of that, so we try to tend towards safety in the food industry.
Okay, so the food industry is vast.
Yeah.
And I still have nightmares of one of the first times I went to the market with my parents and I saw the color of the flies that were perched on the beef in the market.
Yeah.
And that was the one they wanted to buy. You know? So I'm thinking about how safe food actually is in this particular environment.
Well, I would say almost not safe, especially when you're going to the market. So part of the outreach that we're doing, we're taking it to the market.
Okay.
So we have trainees, so we go to the market and then we educate the people in the market. So food safety doesn't just stop in your kitchen. Okay. It starts from the farm right down to the table. So you may feel that even in your kitchen is safe, the way you handle the food, but you'll be surprised that there's so many things that you're actually doing wrong. Okay. Even in your houses. So like the ones that you're worried about are the biological hazards which you would encounter in the markets. Okay. You know, because the flies are there, bringing God knows what type of pathogen into the food, the vegetables. It's everything. It's not just the meat alone. Everything that you put in your mouth, you know, that is coming raw or that is coming, you have to cook first.
You know what? Over the next 5 minutes, let's talk about the 5 pillars.
Okay.
What's the first pillar?
So the first pillar is cleaning and sanitizing. Yeah.
I have worries about that because of the type of chemicals some people use.
Okay, so cleaning and sanitizing is not cleaning and sanitizing the food, but cleaning and sanitizing the surfaces. Okay. So like where you're preparing food, there's a lot of cross-contamination, so you have to prevent that. So when you clean, you remove the visible contaminants, which is maybe food particles or stuff like that that you can see. But when you sanitize, you remove the things that the eyes can see, and they are safe chemicals that are used specifically for food environment. Yeah.
Okay. What's the second pillar?
The second pillar is now.
If I take me, of course.
Yes. Okay. So the second pillar is food handling.
Food handling?
No, not food handling. Personal hygiene.
Personal hygiene.
Yeah, food handling is towards the end. Yeah, so as a food handler as well, your personal hygiene is very important because when you handle the food, if you're not healthy, like you have a runny nose, you shouldn't be talking over food while you're cooking because you're introducing pathogens. When you're doing food that is ready to eat, that's like salads and things like that, or you finish cooking the food before you wrap it up. So your nails need to be clean, your hair needs to be covered, little things that could bring in physical, physical contaminants into the food, like hair, nails, stuff like that. Even rings, you shouldn't even wear a ring if you're handling food, you know, just to avoid it.
All right, so we've covered 2 pillars now.
Yes.
And we take the third?
The third one I would say is food storage. Okay. So when you're storing food, there's a particular sequence to storing food, especially even in your fridge, on your shelf. Like, so if you want to store food inside the fridge, you don't there's certain items you put at the top. Oh. So like your vegetables should come at the top.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay. Depending on the type of fridge that you have. Because when you're, like a food processing facility, they have like these chillers, they have freezers. So there's some items that should come at the top. There's some items that should come at the middle. There's some items that should come at the bottom. So like fish, meat, you put them at the bottom because these items could drip water.
Yes.
And you don't want them dripping water on the next food item, which is like a vegetable, because vegetable is ready to eat. Sure. So you can't process, you can't cook it like meat. When you cook, some of those pathogens will be killed. Yes. But vegetable, you eat straight. So you have to put it at the top so that the meat liquid or fish liquid doesn't drop on it. All right.
So veggies at the top, meats
and fish and all the other down. Meats, milk, like dairy items can be in the middle, like cheese and all of that can be in the middle, you know, that you have.
Okay, so now there are 2 more pillars to go.
Yeah, so the next one I would take is time temperature control.
That one with our electricity situation in this country.
That one is the most, that's one, I think that's where food poisoning actually comes in a lot, because we don't tend to take that into cognizance, you know. You buy something from the market, it doesn't come in, it's already, the food cold chain has already been, like the meat you went to buy, shouldn't even be kept on the table. There's a temperature that the meat, as it's coming, as they're slaughtering the cattle, it should start at the temperature, and you maintain that. So there are hazard analysis and critical control points when you're handling food. So you're supposed to follow that process. So you're supposed to keep it at a particular temperature. When you bring it out of the freezer, to even defrost it, there's a process. You don't just drop it on the table and allow it to defrost. You either run it under water or you put it inside the fridge where it cools down gradually from the freezer. So everything has like a process.
This thing you're telling me to do is work. So you know, I have a 9 to 5.
You even have temperature, food thermometers that you can actually check the temperature to be sure you're storing it at the right temperature.
Why am I scared about this 5th one?
No, well, that one, don't be scared. It's just about food handling.
Okay.
So why that is important is because when you handle food, there's something called cross-contamination.
Okay.
So like you're cooking fish, you shouldn't handle meat at the same time. Or you're doing vegetables. Yeah. You shouldn't. So before you start doing when you're done with vegetables, you need to clean and sanitize before you start doing meat. The same way when you handle fish, you clean and sanitize because there are different pathogens that transfer from one food item to another, and you want to avoid cross-contamination. Even in storage, you have to be careful as well because of that. So basically how to handle food and how to deliver it to the table.
You know, the issue of how to handle food is a really delicate one, because I've seen many places where people are cutting meat on the same chopping board where they're cutting salad items. Yeah. And it freaks me out. I actually saw a shawarma stand where the cooked shawarma meat was on the same tray as the raw meat. And they were serving it.
Oh, my God.
Straight there, and there was literally meat water dripping.
And going. And
then I asked the guy, I was wondering, what exactly, do you know what you're eating? He said, no, that's what makes it sweet. I'm like, wow.
Oh, my.
On to the next stall.
You know, so people don't see that, you know, but when you start to see it, when you begin to understand that it's not just what you're eating, but moving from one to the other then.
All right, then. Hopefully, we've given people something to think about. Thank you so much for what you do at Cooper House Hospitality. And World Food Day is all about food safety this time. You might be making your family sick if you're not safer with your food, and that is exactly what we're telling you to do. Be a lot safer with your food. We'll be posting this online as well. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC if you want to find out more and ask some questions. All right, then, at this point, we're going to be taking a quick break and be back with more.